This is the Sleeper Sports Media Podcast. I'm Nick Wietosh, and I'm going to go over some the month of October updates for the world of wrestling, both AEW and WWE. I'm going to start from October 8th, earlier this month, and Extreme Rules in Philadelphia, PA, the Wells Fargo Center. I was lucky enough to be there in person and feel the electricity surging through the arena in Philly where the Flyers play. But fortunate for me, I wasn't there to watch some bad hockey. I was there to watch some phenomenal professional wrestling. The card was stacked from top to bottom. The fans were electric. It was a sellout. Well over 16,000 people there. The card from the opening match of the Donnybrook six-man tag all the way to the main event, the fight pit, was great. I was a little upset that Ronda won the SmackDown Women's Championship, but I guess that's all for the better because, as we would see later in the night, when a return happened that was really pumped up and hyped up, the rumors were already spieling, and we all knew it was going to happen. I believe that Liv Morgan is going to go through a serious character change, and she's going to be part of a new faction. The strap match was a little anticlimactic, and it ended with a questionable call. Scarlett got in the way, and obviously this is going to set up for a rematch at the next pay-per-view, which is Crown Jewel. The Raw Women's Championship was a great match. I thought Bayley was going to win, but Bianca retained. The I Quit match, I was not expecting this, but turns out it was to write Edge off of TV, as he's now going to be in a Disney Plus show of Percy Jackson. Riddle and Seth Rollins was a great match. I couldn't really see it because of where I was sitting, but it was a great match. And I was shocked that Seth lost and then went on Monday Night Raw and won the United States Championship. But overall, this was a great pay-per-view. Being there in person was amazing, and watching at home on TV was great as well. It was a little weird not hearing commentary at the event live and then coming back and watching it. It was great all around. The long-awaited return of Bray Wyatt was finally revealed Saturday at Extreme Rules. It was great. From where I was sitting, I couldn't see or hear anything really, just going off of the energy in the crowd. Again, it was great. They also showed everyone at the event the WrestleMania 40 logo. WrestleMania is coming back to Philadelphia in 2024, and the logo was so cool. Gray and green for the Eagles. It has the Liberty Bell. It's a great logo, even though it's in Philly. I say that as I'm a Pittsburgh fan. More rumors were going right after the event. Within the next couple of days, with Bray Wyatt coming back, there's already rumors that his brother Bo Dallas will be returning to WWE. Could be part of the new faction, which will be the Wyatt Six, and Bray Wyatt has trademarked. There was also a great segment. I didn't know what was going on at the time, but there was spotlights going all over the arena as we heard Bray Wyatt's one of his old entrance songs, and it was all the puppets from his classic Firefly Funhouse coming to life, and we can only assume that these are the characters that are going to be in the new faction of the Wyatt Six. The first clue that everyone was taking away from was that Abby the Witch was, whenever she showed up and the spotlight hit her, she was standing in front of the women's championships. So people are taking this to mean that it could be a former women's champion that will be Abigail the Witch. Now, Alexa Bliss has worked with Bray Wyatt before and said before his return she would be open to working with him again. Since then, she has gone through a character change of her own and is now back to the Goddess Bliss. But it's been reported that at a live event earlier this weekend, she made her entrance as with Lily, which was part of her Sister Abigail character, her character whenever she was with Bray Wyatt. This could possibly have been her. or it could be someone brand new. It could be someone from NXT. We don't really know yet. We haven't gotten anything from the new faction besides 2 trademarks that WWE has filed for, which is Uncle Howdy and another one. Logan Paul was on Ryan Satin on Fox, and he was asked about a potential Jake Paul run in WWE. He went on to say, truthfully, I think it's inevitable, and it would be super, super fantastic to see both Pauls in the WWE. He later went on to say if he had to create his own faction to keep this rivalry with the bloodline going, he would choose Jake, Mike Malak, George Janko, and KSI. He said, I know that KSI and Jake have kind of a beef, so it would be like a Sami Zayn, Jey Uso type thing, but it would be absolutely great to see all those guys in the WWE. It would be super entertaining. All those guys are great together, minus Jake and KSI for obvious reasons, but it would be great. I would love to see Jake Paul in the WWE one day, and might be sooner than we think, because he said he only wants to be a boxer for another 3 or 4 years. The WWE was expecting Chris Jericho to return in 2024 once his current deal with AEW was up, but now he signed an extension all the way through 2026. That's per the Wrestling Observer. He is filed for, which is Uncle Howdy and another one. Then, after the match with Ronda Rousey, Liv was seen laughing in the ring after she lost, and this was the start of some actions from her that are showing that she's going to go through a character change. There was a backstage interview done with her, and she was seen looking very serious and not upset, but just not like her normal self. She was in a dark corner, and it was just a very mysterious and very dark type of signal, and just so should be more to come on that, and there actually has. Lately on Raw and SmackDown, she's been wrestling with Sonya Deville, and she's been going to the extreme, winning matches, and then just absolutely taking chair shots after chair shots to Sonya, jumping off the top rope, and just going to the extreme, and just showing that she is definitely changing and going to the darker side of a character, which is going to be great. Outside of the WWE, but not too far outside, the cousin of the current reigning undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns, The Rock, he has been on a media tour for the new movie Black Adam. Someone asked him if he acknowledges Roman Reigns as the head of the table, and he had this to say, I do, that's my family. Later in, I don't know if that was the same interview or a different one, but he said he was the head of the table. So this is definitely planting seeds for their potential match at WrestleMania next year, which is going to be huge. Something so amazing happened a couple weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. Seth Rollins won the United States Championship right after the Raw after Extreme Rules in the Barclays Center, where so many of his great matches have come before. And now, current day in 2022, the same year of their 10th anniversary debut on the main roster, all 3 members of the Shield, Roman, Dean Ambrose, formerly Dean Ambrose, now Jon Moxley, and Seth Rollins, are all champions in their respective brands and shows, companies. It's a great time to really honor all 3 of these guys, as they are trailblazers in this sport and just great all around. At Extreme Rules, Rhea Ripley and Beth Phoenix squared off, and then this played a part in the end of the match, the I Quit match. Monday night after Extreme Rules, Rhea Ripley wore a Beth armband on Raw, and this, I think, is planting seeds for a potential match of Rhea and Beth. Friday night on SmackDown a couple weeks ago, Bray Wyatt returned to the ring as Bray Wyatt, as just him, And he had this to say, this is via Sportskeeda. This is a version of me that I've never got to introduce to you before. This is just me being me, genuine me for the first time. And then after he went into more detail about how he's excited to be back, he's never been like this before. And then all of a sudden, he was interrupted by a vignette. No one really knows what this means, but then later, this past week on SmackDown, we saw a face of the same person that interrupted him, and he said, "Howdy." We can take this to be Uncle Howdy, which is, I think, going to be part of the faction, the Wyatt Six. Or this could be a way of Bray Wyatt battling himself in multiple personalities that he's developed over the years, all the characters that he's had. There was a backstage segment this past week where Liv Morgan was backstage, and then all of a sudden, Bray Wyatt's new logo appeared in the distance of the backstage area, and there was also an outline of what looks like Abigail the Witch. Another possible hint of Liv Morgan could be in the faction as well. I would absolutely love to see Liv Morgan, Alexa Bliss, Bo Dallas, and Bray Wyatt. And then a couple more new stars, returning stars, who knows. At first, I thought Baron Corbin was going to be involved because they kept showing a wolf and he was the lone wolf. But now he's being rebranded into this big superstar, still with the same music as Happy Corbin, but he's getting his old name back. He's now being managed by JBL. It is what it is. That's not too exciting. It's still Baron Corbin. His character is kind of up and down. Some other news, again by Sportskeeda. WWE Day 1 for 2023 has been canceled, and now they're doing a live show in Atlanta on that Saturday and Sunday. No real reason why Day 1 has been canceled so far, but there's been no pay-per-views planned after Survivor Series between Survivor Series and the Royal Rumble, which kind of sucks because Day 1 was pretty cool last year. I was looking forward to it again. Some more news. After her defense last night at NXT Halloween Havoc, Mandy Rose is approaching 1 full year as NXT Women's Champion. Other women's champion news. Ronda Rousey wants to remove the word women's from the title. She said, "I don't want to say women in the title anymore." I guess she just wants it to be the SmackDown title or the Raw title championship, or give it a new name completely. Some more news by Sportskeeda. It's been publicly stated that Logan Paul has been training with legends like Drew Gulak, Shane Hurricane Helms, and now Shawn Michaels. And Shawn Michaels went on to say that, "I found him to be a very bright kid. Logan Paul in the WWE has been great. I'm so excited for his match with Roman Reigns. I think they're going to have a great chemistry in the ring. He's going to develop on the mic some more, and everyone is going to start to respect the Paul brothers more because of what they're doing in their respective sports. It's going to be a great time." There is now rumors going out that from Fightful Select that AEW is looking to buy out the remainder of CM Punk's deal. And according to a source from WWE, Triple H wants to be a success and make compelling programming more than anything else. Would CM Punk back in WWE be that compelling program that he wants? Probably not on a full-time deal like what he has in AEW, but I would assume that there would have to be some serious negotiations, some serious ground rules laid out, and hoping that he doesn't turn into a locker room cancer like what he has turned into in AEW. Disney Plus will now be the new home of the WWE Network in the Philippines. The service will launch on November 17th, and it will be a similar deal to what WWE in the United States has with Peacock. DX just had their 25th reunion on Raw last week, and Billy Gunn was the only member that wasn't there. There was reports that WWE got in talks with AEW to have him on, and Tony Khan was okay with it. He didn't ask for any money. The only thing that he asked for was for them to mention AEW on air. It's been reported that WWE was going back and forth on this, and just at the last minute chose not to do it. They still kind of mentioned him in a humorous way. Corey Graves made a note that he was doing something with office supplies somewhere, and that was to hint at his current team with the Acclaimed. Some Bloodline news. Solo Sikoa had his first interview since jumping to the main roster, and he was asked about Sami Zayn always being funny and trying to get him to break character. He went on to say he's like, Sami has told him that he's going to make him crack one of these times, make him laugh one of these days, and he's still trying to, and he's doing his very, very best to control it, but it's difficult. Ric Flair went on to say right now he's not doing anything but never say never on a potential one more in-ring return. Not sure, actually I am sure how I feel about this. He doesn't need to be in the ring. His final farewell match, the last one, he passed out 3 times in the ring. He does not need to be anywhere near a wrestling ring anymore. As a wrestler, he can manage, he can be with Charlotte, whatever. Andrade, it doesn't matter. He doesn't need to be wrestling anymore. He's getting too old. He's been too old. Logan Paul was on Ryan Satin on Fox, and he was asked about a potential Jake Paul run in WWE. He went on to say, truthfully, I think it's inevitable, and it would be super, super fantastic to see both Pauls in the WWE. He later went on to say if he had to create his own faction to keep this rivalry with the Bloodline going, he would choose Jake, Mike Malak, George Janko, and KSI. He said, I know that KSI and Jake have kind of a beef, so it would be like a Sami Zayn, Jey Uso type thing, but it would be absolutely great to see all those guys in the WWE. It would be super entertaining. All those guys are great together, minus Jake and KSI for obvious reasons, but it would be great. I would love to see Jake Paul in the WWE one day, and might be sooner than we think, because he said he only wants to be a boxer for another 3 or 4 years. The WWE was expecting Chris Jericho to return in 2024 once his current deal with AEW was up, but now he signed an extension all the way through 2026. That's per the Wrestling Observer. Welcome back to Sleeper Sports Media. I'm Nick Wietosh, and this is going to be my Week 7 NFL picks. Starting with the Thursday night game, I picked the Saints. Probably should have picked the Cards. Oh well. Starting off the week 0-1, not good. First game later today, I should say, as this is coming at 2:30 in the morning. Atlanta over the Bengals. I said, like I said last week, 2 weeks ago, I'm done picking AFC North teams besides for this next matchup. And whenever there's matchups for the AFC North going up against each other, this game, picking Baltimore just because since Cleveland beat the Steelers, hoping that later in the season down the line, the Steelers, when they have their matchups with the Ravens, they can sweep them, get that head-to-head since if Cleveland loses to Baltimore, Pittsburgh splits with Cleveland, then they'll have the somewhat of a tiebreaker or just a better divisional record. Apparently I got some heat for this one. The Lions over the Cowboys. I just like the Lions. I think they're a good team, and they just need to get a couple wins, and they'll be good to go. MCDC is awesome, and I love their Hard Knocks series on HBO Max. The next game, the Packers are going to bounce back over Washington. It's going to be a good game. Not a good game. It's going to be an ugly game, but they're going to get the win. The next matchup is the Colts and the Titans. I'm rocking with the Colts. And the next matchup is the Giants and Jags. Rocking with the Giants. Saquon's gonna have a monster game yet again. It's gonna pretty much be their offense. Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, they're gonna bounce back after losing to the Steelers last week, and they're gonna beat the Panthers. Sucks that Baker blew it. I was hoping that he would go to Carolina, have a fresh start from being in Cleveland, and really show them that they messed up letting him go and taking Watson over him. But yet again, another Browns player let me down. A former Browns player let me down. Next game, 4 of 5, is the Texans and Raiders. Picking the Raiders. This doesn't seem like a very exciting game to me. The next game, the Jets and the Broncos. Going with the Jets all the way. The Broncos are, at this point, are they going to just tank? The next game, what could be the best game of the afternoon slate of games, the Chiefs and the Niners. Going with the Chiefs. Don't like the Chiefs, don't like Patrick Mahomes, but why are the Niners? Going with the Chiefs, okay. The next game, Seattle and the Chargers. I'm going to go with Seattle. Geno Smith, I'll rock with you just because don't really care for the Chargers either. And the Sunday night game, the Steelers and the Dolphins. I'm obviously going with the Steelers. Hopefully Kenny Pickett starting yet again, cleared from concussion protocol. Same with Pat Freiermuth. Looks like Tua's going to be back, and I'm just hoping for a good game. All three phases of the ball from the Steelers. Hoping they can do whatever they need to do to get the win and just start going on a run and proving everyone wrong. And the Monday night game closing out week 7 of the NFL, which is crazy to think we're already 7 weeks in. The Bears and the Patriots. I'm going with the Patriots. And that was my week 7 NFL picks. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share, and I'll see you next week. And that's going to do it for this episode of the Sleeper Sports Media Podcast. I'm Nick Wietosh, and I hope you've enjoyed this. Please subscribe for more.